now, and you know, they broke the curse. Panthera with this new roster, can they get their first title? Gonna be starting on the first map of Oasis.
I'm sure Runaway would say, hey, get the hell in line, get behind us.
Okay, so we know that Youngjin has been doing a lot of flexing to the Roadhog, and I want to draw your attention to the top of the screen, everybody watching at home. Normally we split up 2, 2, and 2, so 2 tanks, 2 DPS, 2 supports. So whenever you see something like this in the top of your UI, you know people are flexing. So Ding flexing onto the Pharah, and we're going to have Youngjin playing that Roadhog. So different comp here.
Yeah, off tank coming through from Youngjin, so certainly a bit of a straying away here from the norm by KongDoo Panthera. We'll see if this one wants to play out. Koma does have that Mercy ready to go as Ace comes forward on the Sombra. Gets that initial hack off, but can't find anything else other than that picture-in-picture. Just gonna be Ding shooting out some rockets, trying to get some frags in here from the side of KongDoo Panthera. Ace going low, he's gonna get zapped from behind, but he's gonna be one of the first ones to fall, but not before Luffy gets traded out, so both Winstons finding some success so far. Hook comes through there from Youngjin. Can't quite get the pop on the Hoon, down to 19 HP, and he's gonna go ahead and start getting topped right back off, shoots out the rockets, helps take down Decay, and Bellum are coming out swinging already. A decent start. Hoon will finally get knocked out this time around, but Youngjin doesn't have many places to run to. He'll take a breather. Can get topped back up. It seems like he'll be able to stay in the fight, but Hoon makes it back into the mech.
You see, it's just so difficult to kill the Roadhog. He's even already got whole hog tossing it out right now.
Oh, but Hoon up onto the high ground, has a perfect angle there on Koma, and they're able to rip him out of the sky, so now Ding gonna be by himself, and Luffy can't answer too much healing over to that Barra, and that's why he's gonna get taken down. Kills coming through, self-destruct from Hoon, finds Chunchik, and that is gonna be Bellum finding the first cap.
I mean, it was so difficult to kill the Roadhog. It wasn't able to get any picks, so we're gonna see switch back to meta. Ding's going back to his main diva here. He's replaced Void now, at least in the starting roster today. Youngjin will be running the McCree now. The idea was to try to sustain with the Roadhog with both the Mercy and the Moira, and of course just take a breather and win the longer fight, but it wasn't successful. Pharah found its mark too many times.
Yeah, Koma getting picked out of the sky, really kind of leading them astray. EMP nearly ready to go from Nace. He's going to drop it out immediately, and Chunchik, he's going to get taken down. CCJ there with that Deadeye just finishes him off, and now gonna have a bit of a McCree battle, but Youngjin is gonna come out on top. CCJ just a bit distracted by the tank line, and he gets cut down by the enemy Cowboy.
Well, Youngjin just showing his prowess here on this McCree. Finding a lot more success than on the Hog. Getting a good position here with that Coalescence. They've controlled the point, but they need to get the last targets here. Aimgot by so much time.
That headshot, found the flashbang there, in onto Aimgot. He'll get taken down. Eventually winning the delayed fight there is Youngjin. And they're still trying to close this one out. Primal Rage getting popped by Rio, trying to buy some more time here from Bellum as they tick up towards 65%. Rio finds the kill onto Youngjin. And Decay with the EMP will toss it out, but doesn't get the maximum value, barely catches anybody. And Chunchik now zapping away, trying to pick up some pieces here for the side of KongDoo Panthera. It seems like maybe they can finally get the flip to come through.
Yeah, using so much of just vanilla, tactics here, not dropping the ultimates, holding them. Decay, really the only one who used the EMP there to help secure this fight. Really nice angle there. And they were so willing to hold the ultimates, they want to make sure they can delay the retake from Bellum. They took it at 77. Now Youngjin's got control of this high ground. They're trying to gatekeep here, but here comes the dive.
Yeah, he's got that Deadeye ready to go, but he's going to be hacked down. Barrier comes in to keep him alive. Beautifully timed there by Koma. Luffy as well. Dangerously low, but they managed to get Rio. So shutting down that tank line as Hoon will also likely be popped out of the mech. Barely has any HP, but seems like they are keeping him up off screen. No jumps off the map. Panthera go ahead and reset.
Panthera historically so good at ult economy, making the most out of their ultimates, only using that sound barrier there to hold the push so they can just do this stagger ults one by one to stop these pushes from coming through. It'll be fantastic. Problem being, the longer this goes on for Bellum, they're getting the big 6. So getting Youngjin off of that high ground is going to be priority number 1 for Bellum. Then they can control the lower part of the map, drop down, win that dive.
Yeah, nearly ultimate ready to go. Nace has his own EMP, and Decay just now going to be coming back up pulse bomb and finds Youngjin. Nace sitting around the center of the map, tries to get the hack off there, but has to jump away from the Raging Monkey, throws down the EMP. Seems like he might still be going down, but now it's going to be Bellum. We're trading up, Ding taken out. Luffy goes down as well. CCJ finds that kill there onto the Moira. Beautifully done, Rio. Gonna be hacked out, can't use the Primal Rage, but doesn't even need it. He's perfectly topped up. It looks like they'll be getting the flip right at 77%.
All right, so Bellum now gonna try to control this choke point here. Rio, great bubble, got stunned, but didn't matter. He's going deep because he has the Primal Rage. He knows he has the support as well to back him up. Aim God's been pocketing him here quite well, as you can see, and they're just gonna try to prevent Decay from getting into position to use an EMP. They're split at the doorway. Decay finds an angle around here, undetected though, perfectly in the back line now, and there's the EMP.
Throws that one down, but can they get the kills to capitalize is going to be the question. Jara had already thrown in that sound barrier, so has the shielding up, but Rio still gets cut down. Aim God pops the Coalescence, trying to keep everybody topped up into the fight. CCJ throwing out that pulse bomb, doesn't find anything, but they might not even need it. He turns around, finds Youngjin, fire away straight into the face of Chungshik, and they'll be able to take him down. CCJ absolutely destroying the side of KongDoo Panthera here with this. Tracer finds another one as Coma tries to delay, but that's just going to be it. City Center goes over to Bellum.
That was really well done. The EMP there from Nice to kind of start things off there, finding that angle, but I just have to laugh at the attempted delay there by Coma as he went to drop the beat and bumped into that ceiling fixture there, was kind of stuck up there. I don't think that sound barrier would have turned the tides, but we saw already the flexibility of KongDoo Panthera's roster with Youngjin flexing over to the Hog. They're trying to use that sustain comp with the Roadhog to win the longer fight, but they were outdone by the Pharah, who killed Coma in the sky. As you mentioned, that was the critical moment that turned the fight. They had to switch over. Decay's Sombra has been really, really impressive. He's touted as the best DPS in the world. Now, why I'm making all these points for Panthera, they didn't win the first map. I think it just speaks volumes as to how good Bellum is if you want to scale it. I know a lot of people are saying they didn't even win trials. That was 7, but this team is looking so much better than they ever have.
Well, still so far going to be sticking with the McCree Sombra on either side. No tracers to be seen. So CCJ trying his hand at the Cowboy yet again. Aim God up here onto the high ground. Getting topped up, has that right click going through. Plenty of power there for the Moira, but Youngjin's going to be finding the first blood as Ace goes down, and CCJ's going to follow suit. Panthera finally finding a bit of their groove here, and just completely avoiding out with that Farrakhan, even here on guard. It's Aim God in a bad spot. We'll go ahead, blink over to the other side, keeps himself safe.
Yeah, he's just avoiding so much of the Tracer here, or sorry, excuse me, the Sombra. He's actually going from high ground to low ground, constantly keeping the DPS guessing.
She's basically a Tracer at this point with a lot more utility, you would have to say. The pulse bomb.
She doesn't even have to aim.
Not gonna, you know, the pulse bomb's there. It's got the Wombo, but the EMP sets up so much more in a wider AoE. So it seems like the Sombra is just still going to be taking priority here.
Youngjin going to drop down to the low ground, actually. Might head back up to the high ground. There's harassed by Nice at the moment. Here comes Coalescence. They really want to hard engage with this to prevent the capture.
Really great surround there on the Chungshik. They actually just keep him cornered, so he can't make it back in there with the rest of his squad. He gets picked off. Youngjin dropping off the top. Finds that Deadeye straight in on the Chara, and Aim God goes down. No supports available. Outside of Bellum, Youngjin finds the hit. CCJ falls. Beautiful display here from the American Cowboy, and it seems like KongDoo Panthera will keep holding on to the point.
I mean, Decay is relegated to Sombra duty right now in this meta. Can't show off some of his amazing tracer skills and other DPSs, so it's Youngjin who has to play long-range hit scan. He's been able to control this high ground, jump down, and rotate back up because Luffy's support and Coma's speed boost have constantly allowed him to be in position. The fact that he's able to get headshots on these dive heroes, the Sombra, the Tracer, means that it's so difficult to remove him, and he keeps building these Deadeyes faster than CCJ was.
He's coming in the back, throws down that hat. Gets the EMP off as well, and we'll find Youngjin there for the kill. CCJ traded out. Luffy and Coma both going down, so now it's Bellum's time to excel, trying to get that flip. As KongDoo Panthera approach 90%. No healers in KongDoo, might just have to abandon the push. Self-destruct goes down. It's just gonna get knocked off the map, says goodbye, good night. He's taken out, and it's still not gonna be a cap, maybe even just an overtime force here from the side of KongDoo Panthera as they keep ticking up, but no, not quite. 98% there on the meter as Meta get the flip.
It's the ult efficiency for KongDoo Panthera, always just being very efficient, only using the self-destruct. Ding wanted the remake to buy even further time, but he bought enough time to get him to 98. Now they just need to build up ultimates, look for a great EMP opportunity. Could even be what allows the Deadeye. Youngjin's going to struggle to get onto the high ground. but if he can get up there even once, it can turn everything.
Jason to the back, Pulse Bomb comes through, believe he got the stick. Yes, he did, takes out Luffy, but Youngjin cuts him down very swiftly. Now Chungshik taken out, Deadeye gonna be popped, looking for a target. Hoon's there, but just barely misses it, can't quite get the D-Max. And it seems like KongDoo is gonna have to wait and regroup. Ding got knocked off the map. So
for the first time in a while, Panthera shows some impatience. Youngjin couldn't get onto the high ground. They tossed out the EMP because it was a good EMP location, but it just wasn't enough for him to get enough out of the Deadeye. Great response there by Hoon to get out of line of sight. So ultimate's wasted on the side of Panthera.
Yeah, but now he's dead. That's going to be the Coalescence coming out here from Luffy, just channeling it straight into those little catacombs on the side, trying to get some hits. They'll find Rio. Youngjin finishing him off. Would love to see his KD at the end of this first round of Oasis. Self-destruct invested there from Ding. He'll make it back into the mech. Doesn't find any kills with it. Just zones him back there for the moment. Nate's throwing in the EMP, but it's not going to be doing a whole lot. They managed to find Youngjin. Now Chungshik. Finally, the kills coming through off the back of that ult investment. And Meta shouldn't be able to hold strong here. 75% going up, looking to tie KongDoo Panthera.
I like to see the commitment here for Panthera to try to get Youngjin onto the high ground. They're going to keep running this McCree. They're being gate kept super hard right now by the likes of Bellum. They have a sound barrier that can maybe speed boost around for a flank as well. He needs to get a few shots off, get a pick, and then they can slide in. Here's the gatekeep coming through though. Self-destruct.
Tossing that one straight up into the air. See the EMP going out from the side of Decay. No kills there for Hoon, and he's going to get taken out. Can't get back into the mech as Luffy finds the kill with the Coalescence. Youngjin being zoned back here by that Primal Raging Winston with Rio doing his damnedest and will be able to kill him off screen. Sound barrier comes in here from Chara now as they try to hold on to this one. Over time ticking away. Zap comes down. Decay. He's out of the fight. 2 members dead. Both DPSers from KongDoo Panthera have been eliminated. They managed to get Rio, but they need so much more if they want to get the flip, if they want to close this one out and take us to a final round on Oasis. Chungshik here, Primal Rage, smacking him around, just trying to do what little he can to delay. But it's not working out too well. The pulse bomb there onto Luffy. Hurts so very much. Almost still in the fight, but very far away from that sound barrier. We'll see if he can build up for it, but Nace has another EMP ready to go. Everybody gonna be hacked out now as he drops that one, and they still haven't been able to claim this point.
It's just really, really looking rough here for Panthera now with all these hacks coming through. Ding has the self-destruct. He's going to need to use it to remag.
Also that one out yet, just trying to get back into the mech as best as possible, so he has the defense matrix there for his team. Nate's just poking it, getting a hack out that dips right back around the corner, and it's working out as they claim the life of Coma. Sound barrier yet again out for Chara, just building these ones up so rapidly, and they will be able to get it in the end. Bellum. They take City Center, they take Gardens, they take Oasis.
Youngjin reminds me of a young Hureg here with the McCree. He's always finding the right angle, the right position on this hero to do massive damage. But when it comes to committing to these fights, these EMPs, either Youngjin has been found and is pushed away before the EMP comes in, or the EMP comes in too early before he can get on the high ground or get into that zone. So that's why we see these camera shots of Youngjin at the flank, nearly killing these tanks at the backside, where the EMP hadn't been connected. That means the defense matrix can't block his Deadeye, and he can break through the Diva while she's hacked when the defense matrix is down to allow the rest of the dive to come through. Unfortunately, there were a few disconnects there. However, I think Panthera has shown a lot of flexibility with their comp already, and Youngjin playing the McCrees really hasn't been very meta on Oasis for a long time outside of China. I mean, I remember watching the Apex Season 2 finals between Lunatic Kai and Runaway. We saw McCree was meta on the map back then with Reinhardt's and Zarya's, but looking at the way this is being played right now, I feel like the strategy here is to use the Sombra and McCree together to basically set up hacks and EMPs to give Youngjin room to breathe because the positioning is so good. The problem is that Bellum is just finding him every time, and it's CCJ who is coming up with these kills. And we're seeing, you know, this adaptation of realizing if we focus down the McCree, we mitigate that damage, always be checking the flanks, and they were successfully able to shut him down. He had so much more success on point 1. On point 2 at the beginning, he was finding value, but then at the end, he was just picked over and over and over again.
Well, unless Meta suffers from the same fate, Bellum, I should say, suffers from the same fate as their sister team, then this should be a very close series. If it's the same, if they're both just happen to be godlike at control, and then pretty bad at everything else.
This is the first loss.
It could be bad, but this is certainly looking like a back-and-forth series. KongDoo Panthera unable to get a single win there on Oasis, but they're fighting tooth and nail for it, and they're getting damn close.
Yeah, this is the first loss for KongDoo Panthera on Control this year, and it's a now 6-1 scoreline for them. The win streak is broken. Wasn't the Lijiang they were hoping for. Going to the second map with the lineups here with players like Changshik and Hoon, it's no surprise that the favored map for Hybrid is King's Row for both teams. Don't think we'll necessarily get to see some of Hoon's Zarya in this game because it is KongDoo Panthera's pick. They might want to avoid that, but it is their go-to given losses in this map type. So it doesn't happen very often with their 6-0 record, but we're going to King's Row. Could see a lot of old school comps here.
King's Row, first time out here in Contenders Korea. Everybody was waiting for this one. In-Owl finally came through, and it was a breath of fresh air. So we'll see what KongDoo Panthera can put together with this. Will we see some of those classic compositions coming through? The Phalanx, perhaps. Zarya has been strayed away from.
Remember, too.
But with Hoon there on the side of Bellum, running the Reinhardt Zarya is certainly a possibility.
Rio has shown decent Reinhardt. He was always more famous for his Winston play. But on the other side of the coin, Changshik's got a great Reinhardt, and they have Youngjin, who's very well-versed on the Roadhog, remember, as we already saw, and has shown the ability to flex onto even D.Va in the past to allow Ding to do DPS. So there's a lot of different triple tank or even quad tank comps that could come out on this map. We could see a standard dive, but already based on what we've seen with the long-range hit scan of McCree versus McCree, I think there's a high chance that we do see something a little bit more unusual on this map that allows for unique pushes on point A. It's a very... It was considered the most standard map in the map pool in Apex for a long time. It was the most picked map, but...
I mean, it was almost a 50-50 win rate regardless of whether you started on attack or defense, so it was historically the most balanced map that we would see.
But what's really interesting about it now, as it's evolved, is it's probably got the largest hero pool, or largest strategy pool of any hybrid map.
Yeah.
So that's what's really exciting about this matchup here.
I mean, we've seen Hanzo's in the past. We've
certainly
seen,
have.
Junkrat's especially was one of the big ones, this map here, where Junkrat first had his patch where he was super overpowered.
Well, I'd love to say we'll see Changshik on the Reinhardt, but I get the feeling this isn't real. It's going to be a Sonic Arrow to check it out. We could still see the Widow stay. Well, hold on. Youngjin's on the Hog. Let's see what kind of comp. Looks like it might be triple tank Moira. Coma.
Okay, he's gonna flip. Is this just gonna be the scout?
Yeah, let's see what Ding switches
to. Yes, so he's gonna be coming out. So gonna be quad tank, as you say. Zarya, of course, can output a hell of a lot of damage if you get that energy up to 100.
I mean, this is not meta on Hanamura, but it certainly is meta here and on Lijiang. And when they have this player, Youngjin, who can flex to the Roadhog, and he's so good at it, it's a very strong comp. They've already pushed Bellum's dive comp off of the point. They're exactly where they want to be.
Yeah, they're right in here. They're moving up, looking for that second tick. They pull Hoon in. They're going to go ahead and demech him. They take him right out first and foremost. Healing coming through, but Decay will be traded out. He's trying to build up for that Dragon Blade, and he's doing so very rapidly. Already going to be nearly 90%. CGJ finally gets that pulse bomb out and shuts down Changshik. So no second take to come through. A nice early push by KongDoo, but seems like that might just be upset here.
Let's see if they want to stick with it. Decay didn't build very much ult charge here, which is really the crux of this kind of push. This comp, the quad tank push, is only as strong as all of its tanks. If one is pulled out, it's like a house of cards. It all collapses. So you really have to, once you get on the point, get consistent picks earlier. It just simply does not work.
Chara needs to get out of that hallway before the death ball comes to claim his life. It's going to get a little bit more damage in and forces out that biotic grenade, which could be instrumental here. 6 more seconds until we see that one come through. But here comes Stace with that Dragon Blade. Already finds one, takes out the K, takes out Changshik. This tank line from KongDoo Panthera might as well just be a bunch of squishies because Nace just cuts them right down like it's nothing.
Feels so...
now as well, pulse bomb going to be invested, but not going to be finding anything for it, but still Bellum will continue to hold.
It feels so frustrating when you run a quad tank comp and you just can't find the value you're looking for because you can't really switch at this point. You've built 2 ultimates, you're so far away from the Graviton Surge. This is going to be the fight where they want to commit. Coalesce is going to allow Zarya to do more damage. They're looking for an Earth Shatter opportunity.
They're pushing in. That's going to be the second tick coming through. Still 10 minutes here on the clock. Zipping back in is Aim God there. with that Transcendence trying to stay alive. Heal Deny comes out, but it doesn't cost them much, and CCJ's actually going to go down. Chongqing just swinging his way to victory. Can't find the charge target, but still does have that Earth Shatter if he needs to use it, but it seems like it's not going to be necessary at all. They just wipe the floor with Bellum here with 1:45 left on the clock. They'll bump up to 4:15, and now they'll go into Streets phase.
The Coalescence is so powerful with Quad Tank. Moira's burst healing is so powerful too. I don't think Chara's getting out of here.
Really nice stagger there on Chara, chasing forward. They knew the respawn timer. That's why they rushed all the way up here towards point B.
Exactly, but getting that Coalescence meant that they were just able to out-sustain Bellum's kind of counter dive comp. Genji can't do much when you have Coalescence, then a Sound Barrier support ultimate stagger through, but this means they're not going to switch yet. You would normally, if you used all your ults to grab this point, very likely make a switch, but they have Graviton Surge about to pop up. They held on to the Earth Shatter. This is a fantastic position for KongDoo Panthera. Dragon Blade is going to be so ineffective against this type of play, and they've got one great opportunity before switching to really push this through.
Well, here we go, looking for another Nano Blade. Shields up, but it's not going to matter. Decay and Luffy both go down. Chongqing going to get claimed as well as AimGod finds that final blow. A triple there for the Genji. Naced. This pick working out wonderfully for him. Jim was in the back taking some notes. It's like, oh, okay, so hit people with the Dragon Blade. This is good.
So Hoon, I think, gets to celebrate here. We didn't see it on screen, I don't believe, but he was able to eat the Graviton Surge. So that means that this is going to be the switch now for KongDoo Panthera. They're holding on to at least the two other tank ultimates that they have, which I think actually might cost them a lot of time because these don't have much synergy together. Earth Shatter could lead to a great Coalescence, but they're really reaching at that point.
CCJ looking for another pulse bomb, throws that one in, can't quite get the kill there on the Chongqing, but it doesn't really matter. As everybody else is just going to be going down around him. The whole hall claiming the life of Nace. Pop out there as Chongqing yet again just swings to win. Finds the knockout, finds the kill onto Hoon. They're bringing this one into the station.
While CCJ and Nice were really trying to get into the backline to get those supports, which is the backbone of this composition for Panthera, they weren't able to protect their own backline against Decay. This is a tank comp, but still, Tracers can get those backline picks.
Rio popping that Primal Rage is just going to try to delay this push. 2 minutes left on the clock. They want to burn down that clock as much as humanly possible, but Decay has taken out AimGod, and now the Sound Barrier comes in just a bit too late to keep Chongqing in the fight. Self-destruct knocks Ding out of his mech as Bellum tried to trade this one back. CCJ yet again with a pulse bomb. Could be hunting, tosses it out blindly, doesn't find anything for it. KongDoo Panthera keep on the assault, dangerously close to getting this completion here onto point B as CCJ tries to dash around, but he's just caught from behind. He gets taken out.
Yeah, this looks like it's going to be point B completion here. There's just so much sustainability with a triple tank comp that has Moira, so if you're not slashing through with the comp that we're seeing run by Bellum with the Tracer and the Sombra, the longer fight is obviously always going to be won by Panthera. That's why we saw CCJ's first person killing nobody, only just shooting a pea shooter at these healed up tanks.
Fighting here into the side room. Transcendence has been used. Pulse Bomb not going to get much here for Decay, but they do manage to find Rio in all of the chaos. Fire Strike of all things, claiming the life of the enemy Winston. They're rounding the final corner, making decent time here on King's Row. KongDoo Panthera do not want to be halted, but they don't have many ultimates to work with right now. Sound Barrier comes in from Bellum as they try to take the fight. They're going to go ahead and find success as they get Chongqing gets Luffy, and that's likely just going to be the pullback here immediately from KongDoo Panthera.
CCJ going to switch over to this Widow. We've seen him do a lot in trials. When things get dire against comps like this, is going to look for backline picks behind the tanks, and so far this is very successful. Great Sound Barrier by Chara to open things up, and I wonder if Panthera will really just continue to force the issue here with long run back times with these slow tanks. Feels like maybe after the Earth Shatter, it might be time to pick a switch here and go back to standard dive.
Nearly have that next Earth Shatter ready to go. 84% as Nace comes around the backside. Gets the hack off there onto the Reinhardt. No shield going to be able to be held. He's down to about half HP, and he's just going to get taken down off screen. Hoon finds the killing blow. Excellent positioning here from Nace. Knows exactly who he needs to isolate to just upset this entire composition. And KongDoo Panthera now are going to feel the pressure, and they're going to flip. The Winston comes through.
Okay, Winston makes sense here. Nice scouts this out. Wants to save the EMP for a big commitment by KongDoo Panthera. They could have gotten kills there, but it wouldn't have been worth it. Gonna just constantly have this translocator available, looking for the best EMP possible. Gets found out here, but with the Discord Orb, he gets Changsheng.
Managed to go ahead and just pick on Changsheng this entire time. Luffy trying to cut his way back. Seems like he is gonna get taken down as Rio goes forward to pursue. Zaps him to death, and they will trade one back there on the Winston, but faster run back. Bellum still gonna have control over this payload.
CCJ really turned this around because he was able to threaten behind the tank line, behind the Reinhardt. Kind of what Fleta became famous for when he first joined Luna Takai before Seoul Dynasty, is just forcing these tanks to take a different direction of defense. Okay, Ice Tier still holding onto this EMP. Again, wants the perfect opportunity, pretty much right when overtime goes down, to look for a big engage.
Jin trying to out-snipe here as the sound barrier comes through from Coma. The rest of KongDoo Panthera looking to push forward and regain control over the payload. Bit of a Widowmaker battle coming through, and Young Jin is going to win it. Takes down CCJ, but yet again, Changsheng goes down. Nate just comes up with the kill. Rio takes out the K. They're pushing forward there with that Primal Rage still onto the Winston.
Committed to the EMP.
Continue to control this.
They committed to the EMP, though. KongDoo Panthera is aware of it. And they are going to maybe be able to force this through. If they can get a pick on the CCJ again with Youngjin, that means they can actually be a lot more aggressive because they're not worried about those snipes. They can just kind of barrel their way forward here. It's going to be difficult to get into the position CCJ's in, so Youngjin's going to look for the snipe from the low ground here, in fact.
They're rolling their way back in overtime now, ticking away. Rio goes forward, sound barrier comes through, catching all the members there of Bellum. So in the fight for an extended period of time, no tank line available now for KongDoo Panthera, as Ding is still just in the Baby Diva form. Luffy there with that Coalescence trying to get something done, but he's just not finding much. Discord Orb in on Nakoma. He's going to get Goombas top as Rio finds the kill. Bit of trading back and forth, but KongDoo Panthera are certainly the ones losing out in the fight. That overtime meter is going to go ahead and tick down. They can't get the completion onto point C, but they do get dangerously close.
Yeah, KongDoo Panthera, really great start to this map, and the tank composition can snowball really well for you if you do get control of the payload, because then you have Moira healing, you have payload passive healing, you've got the Lucio. It's very difficult to break through against that composition, and the train was just rolling towards point C station until CCJ came out with the Widow. And when Fleta played on Luna Takai, the only match he ever played was the Soul Cup, right? And this is when he started to show counters to these Reinhardt comps with the Widowmaker, because you get behind the Reinhardt, force him to turn his shield around, and that's when the real DPS is going to come through from the Tracer. And that was basically what forced the switches to happen. Changsheng kept getting picked, had to switch over the Winston. And Youngjin, he showed us his Roadhog again, and that shows the flexibility of KongDoo Panthera we talked about from the beginning of this match, but didn't get to play the comfort pick McCree this time. The Widow was lackluster, and CCJ holds him in their tracks. Really excited, though, because Hoon's on the attack now. They could try to do exactly what we just saw from KongDoo Panthera. Put Hoon on that Zarya. I think it's what everyone wants to see. Let's find out, Achilios.
It's been a while. I've kind of missed it, so we'll see if Hoon will deliver. It'd certainly be the biggest fan service that he could give us here today. And so far, it's not looking good. It's going to be hovering, though, but look at the rest of the comp. We could just see Chara swap over to that Lucio.
Yeah.
Hoon over to the Zarya, trade that one out with Nace, perhaps.
Looks like that may very well be what's about to happen here, Achilios. On defense, though, we're going to have somewhat of a triple tank McCree comp. We don't see these very often on defense. In fact, this was popular during the World Cup qualifiers last year in Korea on attack with Junkrat or McCree. But they're going to be using it here on defense instead. It's going to be an anchored up comp. Not going to be Hoon Zarya. Will actually be the Pharah Widowmaker comp we saw on Dorado by Luna Takai.
Yeah, feels a bit disappointing, you would have to say, but Hoon has been putting a lot of work into this diva. That's what he wants to show off. So for now, CCJ up in the sky. Going to be looking to take people out, but has to be very concerned about Young Jin and even Decay here with the hooks.
Yeah.
To bring him down onto that ground level. For now, has a nice angle over the top of the shield here onto Changsheng, trying to fire away. Short charge doesn't really take him anywhere. Doesn't get him anything. And Aim God, he's going to be the first one to die, so not a good look here for Meta on the attack. They will peel back as Nace goes down as well.
Notice that CCJ couldn't really get the angle he wanted. He can only hit the tanks. The reason being that, you know, we talk about how Junkrat's normally the DPS in this comp, but this gives you an anti-Pharah measure when you have the McCree. Goes down in this case, but that's why they're running the McCree, because it gives you that counter to Pharah. And
He got the kill before he died.
Yeah.
So he at least did his job, and now he's going to have the longer run back here. As you see Chungchik getting jumped on, Luffy going to pop that Coalescence, tries to keep everybody topped up, and is doing a wonderful job of it so far. Aim God goes down. The Rockets just not connecting onto the squishier members here of KongDoo Panthera. If they can get rid of Luffy, get rid of Coma, certainly open up the point here for them. CCJ, he's up top. He's got that barrage ready to go. We'll see when he wants to throw it down. Seems like he's going to be waiting. Drops it straight into the back of Ding. Will be able to pop out the Mega. Nice rather, with that Dragon Blade, goes ahead and just cuts down the rest of the tank line. Decay and Chungchik, both lives being claimed by that blade.
CCJ getting a really great opening. Youngjin was never really able to regain point, never able to regain position, was kind of blocked out by nice Genji. Then the barrage, comes through. Reinhardt's kind of stuck. His shield is forced to rotate around, and then Slam comes in the Dragon Blade, and it's all over.
I mean, that was Ding, I believe, just completely getting distracted by the sound of the Dragon Blade being pulled. As soon as he heard it, he wanted, exactly. He wanted to go ahead, get the boop in, try to get some of that guaranteed damage onto the Genji to try to stop him mid-ult. But turns around,
gets barrage.
Comes in, and he dies. Youngjin's going to be doing the same here. CCJ goes in with a Winston, helps take him down. Sound barrier in now as Decay loses the whole hog. Helps to get a kill or two here in the mix. And Bellum seems like they're just going to be held at the choke point here for now as Aim God gets picked off in the final bit.
Chungchik going to survive with all this healing coming in from Coma. They're going to shut this down. It's going to be a big stagger.
No, actually, they just go ahead. They'll die. They know that the teammate is very close by. So they will just go ahead and kill off Hoon.
Yeah, they could have waited a little bit longer, but I guess you're running a risk at that moment. They didn't know how much ult he built.
Want to be paying more attention to the team that's getting ready to come rejoin the fight rather than the baby diva that's hopping around.
Exactly. So Youngjin still has this Deadeye he's holding at the moment, but it's difficult for him to get in position. Blade's coming out early here.
Gonna be another one, yeah. Nice has been building these up so very rapidly. Tries to get in there, but just can't. Get zoned back by the hammer, but the rest of his team is doing the heavy lifting. Ding popped out of the back. Decay going down. Youngjin now feeling the pressure, will be swapping over to the Reaper. KongDoo Panthera, they just completely get wiped out.
Feels like the world's turned upside down when I'm watching Hoon deal with these comps, these tank comps just playing a better diva. He's got the dive on his side, and it's KongDoo Panthera that's running a more old school meta Athena style comp with Chungchik, the old meta Athena player on the other team, running that Reinhardt he was more famous for. They're gonna make that switch to try to kind of turtle with the Reaper now. This is apparently KongDoo's new play style.
Well, Transcendence comes through, Coalescence the match here from Luffy, but Youngjin has already been taken down, as has Coma. Both healers eliminated. Nice, just popping off here with the Genji, cuts them down one after the other, time and time again. And KongDoo Panthera seems like they cannot rise to the occasion to stop this Genji. He nearly has another Dragon Blade ready to go. He's been building these up so rapidly.
Yeah, it's insane.
I don't know if I've seen it this fast since Haksal.
It's been a while, man, and I feel like the day's matches, everyone was hyping Decay. It was supposed to be the Decay show, but right now it's Nice all the time, man. We're watching Nice.tv because this is just a highlight reel. Over and over, he's avoiding the slower tanks, getting into the back line, then flipping around and punishing everybody else.
5 ults ready to go. Earthshatter's going to come through. They do get the lockdown there. 1-1, but they're looking for the pin. They find it onto Hoon, but can they break the back?
Pretty suicidal, if you ask me.
Answer's going to be no there at the end of the day, and everybody else gets taken down while Chungchik is distracted.
So many ults wasted as well, and I'm not entirely sure why Chungchik went in there. He is going to make the switch to the Winston, but this is just giving so much free push time. Bellum with a massive ult economy.
And all that they did was use the pulse bomb. That's it. Yeah. That's all they invested. They have now 5 ults yet again. Aim God has built up enough time for him to get the Transcendence.
They're just hell-bent on, they were so hell-bent on running this tank comp and forcing the ultimates out. The switch is coming way too late.
Chungchik yet again getting that Discord orb. The sound barrier comes down from KongDoo Panthera to try to keep him in the fight, but here comes Nice. He's got a corner there onto Coma, takes him down, dashes forward. Will help just eliminate everybody here on the roster. Doesn't get the killing blows, but does all the work for the most part there. Down the 9 HP. Will finally be taken out by Decay, but it's just a slight little reprieve. A consolation prize here for KongDoo Panthera as Bellum is knocking at the door. Nobody is there to contest, and they will go ahead and take map 2, King's Row, completely dominated by meta.
These triple tank, these quad tank comps we're seeing from KongDoo Panthera are refreshing in a way in a meta that seems Sombra and Dive dominated. But on the other side of the coin, they haven't been famous for running these comps. Sure, maybe Chungchik was known for it when he was on meta Athena when they were running similar strats on this map. but Neist is eliminating all effect of Youngjin here with the Genji, with his dashes before Dragon Blades are even available, building Dragon Blades so quickly. And we're seeing him consistently find the backline healers, and if that's happening, it's time to switch the comp, because if the healers can't keep your tanks alive, there's no reason running them. They're simply going to die repeatedly.
Meta fighting.
Yeah, meta fan here.
A sign there from the young boy in the audience. But absolutely great.
You know what, Decay has had his moments throughout the series, especially on Oasis, on the Sombra, but Neist has outperformed them, and this is not the result I think most fans and most analysts were expecting going into this series. KongDoo Panthera, I think it might be time to play a more standard style here, go back to what you're great at. Decay, hailed as the best DPS in Korea, just simply can't do much. Youngjin trying to run these McCrees, trying to run these turtle comps, and Bellum is quite literally running circles around them.
Wonderful stuff from Bellum. Coaches coming into the booths now here to discuss on the side of KongDoo Panthera, figure out what exactly is going wrong.
I would not be surprised if we have a sub for Roar.
Could see him, yeah. Because we very well could see the swap out.
Changshik's been touted as an improved Winston player. Everyone's saying his Winston is looking much better than it was before, but he played mostly Reinhardt on King's Row, of course, with a few switches when it was like things were dire, right? And he needed to go back to the normal pick. Roar has been a better Winston basically forever. Never had the reputation that Changshik built from his Reinhardt play back in that Reinhardt meta from Season 2 of Apex. But I feel like if you're going to play standard now as we head into the next map, you probably want to have a stronger Winston on your side.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Bellum showing up here, so clearly not going to be just the control curse where that's the only map type that they're good at. King's Row comes through, and they find success. Now going to be looking at 2 more maps. Do we just have another 4-0 here today?
I hope not.
It'd be absolutely insane. KongDoo Panthera, they've got to do something different, because right now they're looking a bit like your badge. It's tilted.
Oh, God. I didn't even notice. What's going on with my badge?
I don't know, man. It just doesn't work.
Is it because I'm sitting like this? Look at that. I think we solved it. Whoa.
Oh, you just always have to sit like that.
The counter to the badge meta is just do this.
We figured it out. Mine's just sitting over here. Mine's been great, but it's just hiding behind the monitor. So.
Oh, is it great? I don't know. It didn't look so great to me.
I'm leaning up
Look
with
at
my
it, though.
shoulder.
I don't know. It was a little bit sideways.
It's perfectly straight. Don't worry about it. Anyway.
Oh, is it?
Assault.
I don't think so.
Assault is. Oh God. Damn you, Wolf. I was trying to make fun of you and hide my own shortcomings, but that is going to be time for a quick break, guys. When we come back, it's going to be Assault, and we'll see if KongDoo Panthera can turn their luck around and get a map win.